I am Paul James Decker with Campus Ambassadors at the University of Buffalo. I've been doing it I'm on my 14th year. I pastored for 30 years at four different churches. It was a lot of great preparation for actually college ministry, and I always had a heartbeat for college students. My wife and I just loved hosting college students every church that we were at. I wanted to start a Campus Ambassadors when I moved to Buffalo at the University of Buffalo because we had so many university connections in our church. We had lots of students coming to our church. We had lots of professors that were coming, graduate students, and so we just were having a lot of impact already. And I thought, man, it'd be great if I could make a really stronger connection. I love campus ambassadors. And I love their connection with churches, and so I thought I'd love to get someone here. And that's when I met Tim Stewart, who was just, I think, a senior at Oneonta at that point in time, but he was already committed to becoming on staff with Mission Store. And so we kind of interviewed together and we took on a large part of his support. He did a little training in the Rochester area and then he came out to Buffalo. And then I mentored him for several years. I resigned from the church and I came over to campus with him. He became my boss. It was a lot of fun. And so it's been a lot of fun together. Whenever students would come to me because they thought I was in charge, I would just point back to Tim and I said, "No, he's in charge." They go, "Really? You're the old guy." So I said, "Yeah, but he's the one in charge. So you talk to him." And uh, and it was really great because he's just become such a great leader. I started helping Tim, and in many ways, I was doing more teaching than I'd ever done before. I'm just taking all this time with students and teaching them from my heart and what I've already learned. And the students started asking me, "Are you going to stay? Are you going to stay?" And then Tim asked me, "Are you going to stay?" Eventually, I stayed, and it only took a few months, but I was persuaded pretty quickly. Lots of cool stories happened in the process that really kind of convinced me. But one of the really interesting things that happened that was really a turning point for me to see how God was guiding me was that I came early to one of our main meetings, our weekly meetings, and I was sitting at one end of the floor, of one of the rooms, excuse me, and a few of our African American girls came and sat next to me. Said, "Can we sit next to you?" I go, "Well, sure, sure." And uh, and uh, and I'm thinking, this is kind of strange. They could have sat anywhere in the room. Why are they sitting next to me? And didn't think much about it until the next week when they did it again. And that's when the Lord kind of pounded on me because I was kind of wondering what was going on. And the Lord just kind of waved in and says, "Paul, they don't have dads. None of them have dads." And that's when I thought there is a role. There's a role for me here. That's actually been a significant part of the ministry for me at UB, that I actually look out for those girls that don't have dads. What I have found over and over again, whether students already know Christ or they don't, is that students react to when an adult takes interest in them. They actually long for that. Even if they come from a great home, they still love to have that connection with someone who is older and is willing to invest time in them and help them along the way. But it becomes all the more important when they don't have support at home. And when they don't, you're filling a huge gap that they desperately need. I've had many students who I've done one-on-ones with that are not yet believers. And those have been some of the most interesting connections because even though they know that I want to study the Bible and they know that's part of what I do, they're willing to go with it because they feel cared for and loved. In fact, most of the time, they're the ones that are most faithful. They're the ones that never miss an appointment. They're there week after week after week. And I think it's just, we just sometimes forget that ministry is actually simple. It's relationship. It's and for college students, they need it desperately. And especially when you're on a secular campus where Christianity is often being moved out to the periphery. Uh, the fact that someone who really loves the Lord is loving them, that's just always going to be a great and positive experience. So the thing is, you don't have to be a campus minister to do that. You can be a volunteer and do that. You can come on campus and just, I'm sure, and help, and just be that have those kind of relationships with students, they'll eat it up.